right, and Rhododendron Taurus is fully opened up now. You know, I love this time of year, guys, when everything is just really starting to open up and bloom, and you can hear those birds in the background just chirping in the trees. Everybody's coming back north for the summer, and it looks like it's going to be an awesome spring. Mom's favorite, Phyllis Korn, is just starting to open up, and that's almost a tree. So I got to zoom in on that one just to get up there. This rhodie's probably 8 foot tall. I really love the pastel colors of this rhododendron. This is Odee Wright, and its buds are really neat. It's kind of got a purplish look underneath the buds there, and they just swell up really big in the springtime. The blooms are beautiful. I'll come back to this one and take a shot of them when they start opening up more. This is Rhododendron Nike, and I wasn't too sure about this one in the beginning. I bought it when it was in bloom at a nursery, and it was absolutely beautiful. And over time, it gets nicer and nicer planted in the ground here. Love the buds as they open up. They're just real light colored, and as they open, you can see they get more and more. There's a little bit of red, and they get more and more orange, and then a yellow color in there. And then finally, when they open up all the way, there'll be a solid yellow, and it's just really nice in the landscape. Pops quite a bit when you've got it in contrast with all the pinks and reds that are going on. Nike is really starting to open up. Now this rhododendron is called Fire Rim, and I don't know why, I've always had kind of a fondness for this one. I think it's just because of its perfect shape. It's just a real nice, natural growing mounded rhododendron. It doesn't really need any pruning. It stays tight, has big leaves, and the buds in the springtime just swell up really big on there. Now it's just beginning to get ready to bloom, but we got a little ways to go. I'll take some shots as this one opens up through the spring. Now, one of the things about rhododendrons are when they're in deeper shade, they don't get quite as many blooms, and this one tends to be in a little more shade. And it also turns out to be one of my absolute favorite rhododendrons. It has the most spectacular soft violet, I wouldn't say peach, but kind of a violet color to them, pastel. Anyway, I'll have to bring you back to this one when it's blooming because it is outstanding. Now the buds aren't quite opening up yet. It opens a little later, but you can see them swelling and they're getting ready. That one over there's got 3 buds right at the top of one little leaf shoot or one little branch there, and it's going to be spectacular when it blooms. This is absolutely one of my favorite rhododendrons of all time, and it's called Rhododendron Dell. I've never seen one anywhere other than the nursery I bought it at, and this is the only one I've ever found. I've propagated several cuttings of this guy and planted them out on my landscape, but when you see those buds open, you'll see why. It is just a beautiful lavender color. All right, and there's Rhododendron Dell, one of my all-time favorites. I love that lavender color. Big, huge buds opened up to big, beautiful lavender blooms. Absolutely gorgeous rhododendron. Now this is Hills Yellow with red eye, and it's a really nice yellow rhododendron. It's got more of a red eye to it in the center. Once it starts blooming, you can see it's starting to open up. There's our little mushroom buddy again, developing nicely. And the white Campanula is fully opened up. Isn't that a nice white rhododendron? Excalibur's got some nice buds opening up here. Little hint of pink coming through. Now this is an old-time favorite. This is Virginia Richards, and it will get pretty big over time, but look at the size of those enormous buds, man. I just love this one. And when the colors start opening up as the buds open, it's just a really nice rhodie. This one looks best, I believe, when it's just kind of in the middle of opening up and you've still got some flowers that are dangling there waiting to open and some that are fully open. It's the contrast in the pinks and whites, and it's just a really nice rhodie. Those are some enormous buds. Here's another Virginia Richards I have on the landscape from a different part of the property here, different angle, and it is just a beautiful flower, an old-fashioned variety, gets really big, tolerant of cold, grows well in just about any soil. I love Virginia Richards. It's an old tried and true. Here's another shot of some more Virginia Richards I've got planted out on the landscape in a different area. This is Lem's Cameo, and it looks like it's on fire with those red buds just leaping up off the plant. What a beauty the hallelujahs are turning out to be. Now this is Kimberly, and you can see that as the blooms start opening up, the new growth is already coming out, and it's a real nice contrast amongst the pink blooms that we've got here. It's kind of a bronzy yellow / green color. I don't know what you'd call it, but it sure is nice looking. At the nursery we got this from, they've got one of these that's probably 8 foot tall, and it's just a huge shrub, and it looks beautiful when it's fully opened up. Now I showed this one in a previous video when it just had the buds, and this is Dora Amateis, and it really is nice looking. I like how the buds start out kind of yellow as they're opening, kind of a real light yellow, and the flowers open up to a real nice white. And this one is special in a little bit different way. It's got a really nice fragrance to it, and it absolutely is just wonderful. And as this gets bigger, this plant, it'll get more buds, and eventually that fragrance will surround this entire area when it blooms. Now this particular rhododendron is called Jackwill, and the really neat thing about this one, if you can see it right now with this camera, is that the inside of the flowers is kind of a light pink to white, and the outside of the flowers are a darker pink, and it really makes a nice contrast and stands out against the green foliage. And I've got to get a shot of Kiwi Magic as it begins its journey into this world. Now, who says you can't have orange rhododendrons? Mango Tango is getting ready to make its appearance. Here's another more orange kind of rhododendron called Seaview Sunset. Isn't that neat how those individual flowers are opening up and you can see the bracts around the flowers? Now this particular variety is called Wine and Roses, and you'll see why in a second. The blooms start out a red and open up into more of a pink color, but underneath the plant is this deep burgundy color. And the leaves just really pop as the plant gets bigger, and you can see all of that burgundy in contrast from a side angle with the green top leaves. And here's Starbright Champagne. What a fantastic rhododendron this is turning out to be. Alright, and this is my wife's favorite rhododendron bed right now. She wanted me to set this one up and I obliged. So this is our Apricot Fantasy bed, and you can see those colors are just absolutely beautiful. That orangey kind of orange peachy color we've got there, but over time this whole bed is going to fill in with that orange color. And then down below is Rhododendron Hotei, and that's just a pure yellow that's going to light up the underside of the bed.